Greetings, what is up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting once again from lockdown, coming at you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle fresh from the Company of Heroes 2 ladder, featuring spawning in the south. It's going to be the Overcommand West pieces of Kanji. Spawning here on Crossing in the Woods, and spawning in the north, playing as the United States forces. It's going to be the Heavy Cavalry Company, is it? Yes, it's going to be the Heavy Cavalry Company forces of Bruce. So hopefully we've got a spicy 1v1 for you guys today. Always a bit of potluck when you jump into games on the ladder. But yeah, I feel like I've casted both of these guys before. Actually, it's always difficult to... Because I don't naturally read kanji, they don't stick in my mind quite so well as Western names. So actually, but having said that, I still don't think that I have cast this particular jumbled kanji before. So we'll have to see. Overwatch Doctrine, I'm immediately skeptical. This is one of the most meh OKW doctrines, in my opinion. I think OKW has access to some of the most transformational, some of the most sort of just muscular commanders in the game. Like, they just affect your compositions and make your opponent play around them in really intense ways, where other factions just do stuff that sort of works to the strengths and weaknesses of their faction. I think the OKW commanders like actually bring new styles of play. But I mean, on the flip side, they don't get so many commanders to pick from, so I suppose they have to sort of be higher impacts. But anyway, Overwatch Doctrine, I feel like, is kind of one of the most limp commanders in the bag for OKW. Now, I could be wrong. We're seeing players pick this a lot. It does seem to be around in the meta. It seems to be on players' minds. I don't get it yet, but I'm open to having my mind changed. In days gone by, this used to be a favorite commander of mine, but Goliaths ain't what they used to be, so... We'll see what's going to happen in this game here as the opening stages unfold before us, and I will take a moment here to just talk about some other stuff, as is my wont. The opening stages of a game of Company of Heroes don't tend to be super remarkable, super event-worthy, so... I've been doing a lot of research recently, watching a lot of videos, and trying to skill up with regards to like bringing a slightly higher quality stream. That's something I'm going to try out tomorrow. So tomorrow, what day is it tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday, the 21st of May. So what I'm going to do, this is an idea I had, okay? So I'm just going to start streaming when I get up in the morning, and I'm probably going to stream all day. And we're going to play some Call of Duty, we're going to play probably some other games as well, but some of my friends are going to be online, so we'll have my Call of Duty squad, and we're just going to do a bit of that, I think, and just going to shoot some dudes, have some fun. It's going to be light-hearted stuff, we're going to chill out, enjoy ourselves, and... one of the key things that I really want to do is like have a kind of almost like an interactive stream building experience. So I finally got notifications working. So if you guys do any follows or subscribes on Twitch, that stuff's going to jump up on the screen. I'm going to have chat live open, and any ideas you guys have, anything at all, sound effects, animations, GIFs, overlays, ideas for future streams, I don't care what it is, I want it, okay? I just want it. I'm going to have my notepad here, we're going to write down the stuff, we're going to build the stream in real time for a large amount, I mean, over the day, we're going to build up the stream, and we're just going to see where it's going to take us. So, I don't know, probably, like, I mean, if nobody tunes in, it's just going to be me live on the stream watching YouTube videos and building my stream, and then you guys can sort of... I don't know, there'll be VODs there, and it would in some ways be an interesting record of my like opening, my sort of, my babyest steps into the world of actually streaming. And if people do tune in, and there's some people in chat, and we get some dialogue going, and we can interact about what people want on a stream, and how to get there, and you guys can just chip in your ideas and watch me learn, and if you have any knowledge, you can just throw that straight at me anyway, and we can get there really fast, whatever. That's the thing. That's what's going to be happening tomorrow. I'm going to wake up, going to get the stream rolling, and we're going to just literally carve out a stream in real time. We're going to build all of the elements and then do some games, and it's going to be fun. I'm just up for lighthearted, good old times, because it's lockdown right now. There's nothing else for me to be doing. So I don't know, streaming's a thing I've always wanted to be good at, but kind of weirdly felt too cool for, I guess. Like... because there's an element of streaming that's really samey. Like, I think a lot of streamers, there's a lot of sort of copy-paste. It's a lot of sort of appealing for follows and trying to go for mainstream appeal. And there are just things that if you do on your stream, you're going to do better statistically. And that's never really been for me. I've never really been one to be like, hey guys, press like and subscribe to the doodly botsit and fiddly wotsits and all that stuff. That's just, I don't know. I mean... I just do my stuff, I make my content, and if anyone wants to follow or subscribe or anything like that, then that's a wonderful coincidence. But I mean, like, I really never expected anyone to enjoy anything I ever put out on the internet. So So, but having said that, it is quite fun. It is really cool engaging with you guys. It's a constant source of amazement to me how many subscribers and how many views I get on YouTube and stuff like that, and that people seem to genuinely enjoy the content that I put out. Like, that just amazes me. Like, you all are insane, but I love it. And so I thought, why not lean into that a little bit? Why not actually give proper streaming a go? Why not actually put together a decent, proper-looking stream with all of the stuff that people expect, like notifications and overlays and interactivities and polls, and because it is actually fun. I love engaging with people, and it's just entertaining. Even if it's just 7 or 8 people who are watching the Homeworld Deserts of Karak stream that we did, or just whatever. I'm not really about the numbers, but I am about the interactivity and just having a good time on the internet, doing the things that I love with good company. Like, what's bad about that? Surely nothing can go wrong there. Surely nothing can go wrong there. No, but seriously, I just think that seems like a great thing to do, and I have all the free time now because of lockdown, so that's what we're going to do. So, once again, in summary here, to wrap this up, tomorrow, that's Thursday, the 21st of May. It's all a blur's day in lockdown, but wow, hang on, he's going to actually get some riflemen in range of the mechanized reg. Ooh, this is issues. Luckily, there are Volks to defend. But anyway, sorry. So to summarize once again, Thursday, the 21st, I'm going to be streaming, I think, for most of the day, and we're going to be literally building the stream. So I'll start off in the morning with no overlays and rubbish notifications and animations and sound effects, and then we're just gonna start layering stuff on and see what happens. And then as the day goes on, a few of my friends will pop up online, and then we'll start playing some Call of Duty, or we might even play some Company of Heroes, or whatever. We're just going to see where the day takes us and just have a laugh with it. So I would be honored if you felt like joining me on my basically inaugural live stream. It would just be hilarious fun, and I would value all of your suggestions and feedback and ideas and just anything. So these days I tend to be awake and done with breakfast by about 11 a.m. GMT. Well, there's a little bit more to my morning than just waking up and having breakfast, but I have to get my sort of bookkeeping out of the way insofar as work goes and stuff. So yeah, I reckon I'll start the stream at 11 a.m. GMT at the latest, but there's actually a really good chance that I start earlier. We'll just have to see. I guess realistically the stream could be up anywhere from 9:30 onwards. That's like British time. So yeah, it would be awesome if anybody wanted to just tune into the stream, even for just 15 or 20 minutes, just say, hey Magpie, how's it going? And give me your feedback on how the stream looks, and if you have any ideas for content you want to see, or notification stuff, or just like literally anything to do with building a stream, I would welcome that so hard. So, anyway, with all that being said, there's a pretty interesting game of Company of Heroes 2 unfolding before our very eyes right now. We've got a Lieutenant Tech opener here for the American player who has a 50 cal as the opening sort of choice from that tech. We've got a Mechanized Regiment tech here for our OKW player who's gone for a Panzer II out of that tech and also has the Jaeger Command Squad, I believe they are. Oh, sorry, these are just regular Jaeger Light Infantry, of course. There's an OKW player here. So we're starting to shape up nicely here as the early game sort of goes through its final stages here. And let's take a look at the scoreline here. So this has been a story of OKW domination as far as the scoreline goes. Resource differential, I wasn't really paying attention. It feels like it's been approximately even. The American player is stacking loads of fuel, but then again, they haven't built a Panzer II yet. So that's where a lot of the OKW players' fuel has gone. Okay, so Overwatch Doctrine. So far we've gotten the Jaeger Light Recon Squad from them. Anti-vehicle rifle grenade will connect with the Panzer II here. That is annoying. Panzer II ought not to be in jeopardy. In fact, there's actually nothing really on the roster here that can kill this. Are we just going for a fast Pershing build? I feel like normally we would have seen a Stuart by now. But if we're not going to see a Stuart, then how are you going to see off the Panzer II? I mean, connecting an anti-vehicle grenade is awesome, because now now the Panzer II has to fall back and get repaired. So you've bought yourself a window of Panzer II free time here, has Bruce. But there's still no real plan to deal with the Panzer II. Okay, so we have weapon racks and Zooks are starting to pop up. All right, so now there's a little bit more of a determined anti-tank defense here in this American army. I was a little bit worried that this Panzer II might just be able to run rampant, but Zooks will help. Rangers now actually being mixed in as well. One of the other fantastic abilities provided by the Heavy Cavalry Doctrine in action here. Those boys, of course, do have the Zook Expert sort of passive ability. So if you put Zooks on that squad, they are kind of nearly as good as Panzerschrecks, about as good as Allied forces will ever get anyway. So that's something to look out for. Oh, wow, this Rakettenwerfer is kind of flustered. Volksgrenadiers are here to defend, but the Rakettenwerfer will have to fall back through 2 squads of Yanks. One of them has BARs, so this is not the best place to be. These Volksgrenadiers won't last long. Panzer II going to come in here to try and break this contain that is keeping these Axis units trapped in the pocket. He's got to keep kiting, or else he's going to get donked by an AT grenade. Zooks come in on the flank, but as long as he doesn't get hit by an AT grenade, he is fine. Storm Pioneers here are going to screen off these rear Esh, and that ought to be the end of the American position here, with the riflemen gone and the rear Esh basically forced away. This 50 cal will get beaten by the Panzer II. Oh wow, he actually finds 2 more Zook hits on the Panzer II. Nice, that is a great way of finding value. But in the west, it looks like Jaeger light infantry are just going to be getting gunned down. That's way too many Yanks. So an interesting fight. Wow, the 50 cal stands and the Storm Pioneers are getting gunned down. Okay, the Kettenwerfer does get out of there. And the Panzer II is going to need repairs. These Storm Pioneers probably just want to fall back or something. I don't know. They need to hook up with the Panzer II at the earliest convenience. And Kanji here, look at the top left, look at the top right, a little bit outnumbered, and he's stacking manpower. This is quite a lot to be stacking. So Schwerpanzer HQ finishes. Maybe he's banking it for Obersoldaten, and you want a little buffer there to pay for Schwerpanzer authorization as well. So, okay, yeah, this is not the worst manpower bubble to have accumulated, actually, because you can just grab Obersoldaten. I reckon this is probably for Obersoldaten, then Panzerorth. That would be the right way of doing things, I would have thought. And this is, I mean, Obersoldaten are cheaper than they've ever been. At 340, they are a hell of an infantry squad. So, yeah, this seems like a great time to purchase the veteran elite Axis infantry squad. American forces here going to get beaten out of west. The Panzer II still not repaired, but it will come across here to try and police some riflemen nonetheless. Where are the rear Esh? Okay, the rear Esh are a little way away right now, so the Panzer II in no danger of being immediately struck by Zooks. Which would probably be fatal if these rear Esh actually managed to find a shot. Okay, so the rear Esh are actually cutting down through mid. That is quite smart. But the Panzer II is probably just too fast. He's going to sneak away here. So Volksgrenadiers in the east have grabbed fuel. That's nice. It is going to be Obersoldat and then Panzerorth, kind of like we were thinking. He's still floating a lot of manpower. I would not hate another. Pardon me. I would not hate another Volksgrenadier squad. Or I would not hate cancelling Panzerorth, going for 2 squads of Obersoldaten and then getting Panzerorth again. In fact, I think that would probably be a really scary way of spending your manpower right now. Getting out Obersoldaten, 2 squads thereof, yeah, he's doing it, but it's kind of, this is the wrong order. Like, Panzerorth is not really giving you anything by itself. It's kind of just a teching cost, so I think you should probably put the Obersoldaten above that. I mean, yeah, it gives you the flat cannon on the hood, but that's not great. But he's going to get that, and it's not like it takes long to build. So there we go, that's done. In fact, okay, sorry, for a second I thought it was tracking onto that rifleman squad. Anti-vehicle rifle grenade from the rifleman will connect, and the rear Esh are here to capitalise with Zooks. That will be the end of the Panzer II, so a nice pick-off there for Bruce, putting himself firmly ahead. Loses the rear Esh for it! Oh, wow, okay. Wow, Storm Pioneers, that is a lot of STGs. That is like 8 STGs. That is a hell of a lot of DACA, and it will take its toll on the American roster. The rear Esh there, that is a bitter loss, but you're probably okay trading them, even with the Zooks for the Panzer II. That's just a unit that you don't want to be alive very long. It's really scary. Major Tech is finished for the American player, and we can see that a Sherman comes down onto the queue almost immediately. So that's going to be the first fuel spending unit of choice, and you have to imagine from here on in, the fuel will be saved to get access to the Pershing. And that is at least what we're used to seeing from Heavy Cav Doctrine. I'm open to being surprised, but I mean, if you are not going for the Storm Pioneers a little bit low here, they're going to be alright. If you're not banking on getting the Pershing and you picked this commander, then, like, something's up. Like, because the Pershing is really good. Wow, the 50 cal gets taken out. If he can loot this 50 cal, that's huge. That is huge. Oh, God, he gets the lieutenant as well. The American force is getting battered through this last phase of play. Yikes. And he does loot the 50 cal. This is going to be a very difficult game for Bruce now. Look at the top left, look at the top right. This Axis army right now is huge. Well-equipped, a decent level of technicality, and most of these units, because they're just OKW stuff, will scale really well into the late game, but especially the Obersoldaten. Of course, they are absolute dominators in anti-infantry combat, and if there's one thing that you need to stay on top of when fighting against the American forces, it is their infantry squads. So many times we see Axis players come off worse for wear after engagements against the fantastically powerful American infantry. But now just down to 3 squads of riflemen. This Sherman has a lot of work to do. Now there is one Kettenwerfer out in the field. That's over here in west grabbing a fuel point. But apart from that, there is actually not a lot that this Sherman has to fear. Wow, the Obersoldaten are just going to be running in here. That is not a fight you want to take, boys. And the Kettenwerfer will be forced out here. The Sherman trying to get some blocking on there. Some riflemen here to try and capitalize, but a 5-man squad with the fallback bonus, unlikely to be wiped out here. And Kanji in a fantastic position to sort of consolidate here. Coming up to Panzer IV money, if that would be the choice. And that is a tempting choice, because you know that your opponent has spent stuff on a Sherman. And you also, I mean, Kanji must know that they are kind of ahead in this game. Wow, getting a nice cutoff here, actually. Kanji must know that they're kind of ahead in this game. You don't play at this level of the game and not realize that you've inflicted pretty heavy damage on your allied opponent. If you actually were paying any attention and saw how many squads you wiped out and stuff. So I feel like Kanji here may be further incentivized to get the Panzer IV because it just represents additional immediate pressure against an opponent who's already up against it. But having said that, the Panzer IV also feels like a little bit of a trap. You know that your opponent's on the Pershing doctrine, and you know that the Pershing just beats the Panzer IV like quite heavily. So I don't know, I feel like the Panzer IV is a nice unit, but I don't feel like Kanji needs it, and I feel like even though Kanji's ahead right now, you're never going to end this game or like meaningful, or like, you know, or really like close the door on the allied opponent. Oh god! Is he he has to get these riflemen. Oh god! Oh no, Bruce is in a terrible position now. That is a lot of squads to have been losing. Okay, well, I mean, Bruce at least has some manpower. We can start rebuying infantry squads, and I would love to see that. Oh, God, no, we can't be losing these guys. I mean, it's super unlikely. You shouldn't lose them. Yeah, they're out of there. Whew. Okay, so this is now going to be a story, like, kind of a reversal of the usual dynamic that we're used to seeing. So Bruce now is going to have to weather the mid-game and try to survive and then stabilize on the back of a Pershing when it eventually is ready. And it is going to be a Panzer IV. I think this is fine, to be honest. I mean, if you wipe another infantry squad and now you're just so... You're crushing Bruce so hard. The pressure is on so hard. A Panzer IV feeds into that plan so well. And to be fair, the American player's fuel income has been quite severely restricted. Oh no, these Volks are actually not capping this point. The American player's fuel income has been quite severely restricted, so that Pershing is actually probably going to be late enough that you can squeeze in a Panzer IV and still have enough fuel for another sort of meaningful choice to be coming out around about the time that Pershing hits the field. So if you wanted something to help counter the Pershing, you'll probably have the money here as Kanji. So yeah, I think the Panzer IV is just the right choice on every axis, really. Triple cap gets re-established here. The American player down at 265 under 475, and this is basically, we're going to have to see, like I was saying, the reversal of the usual dynamic that we're used to seeing. It's going to be the American player who's going to have to be the rock in the river, who's going to have to weather the storm of OKW stuff and then stabilize in the late game on the back of some kind of very good composition, probably centered around a well-supported, well-protected Pershing. I mean, this is super intimidating, though. Triple Volksgrenadier with STGs and good veterancy for the time in the game. Double Obersoldaten with a 50 cal and a Panzer IV against 2 riflemen, 2 rangers, and a Sherman, more or less. I mean, yeah, the major's here as well. So this is going to be very, very difficult. There are shoe mines around the place, so this Pershing actually has... Sorry, the Sherman actually has to be careful. The rear Esch were never rebought, so there's no metal detector still. So those shoe mines are just going to be a danger as the game moves forward. Now, the Sherman actually gets a nice angle, finds the Panzer IV there, actually doesn't get a shot off. A little bit annoying there for the American player. Is the MG42 coming down? Alright, I imagine we'll see the MG42 taken here momentarily for Kanji. It's a really important upgrade for the Panzer IV, just to enable it to vet up really quickly. It's going to be a second Pershing. Okay. Alright, Bruce. Surprising me there. I guess Bruce feels like... As we often see from Soviet players, oh no, surely we can't be losing a 3-star American squad here. Okay, good. I guess Bruce feels like, as we're often used to seeing from Soviet players, that Bruce kind of has to spend the fuel to not die. Like, if we're not converting this fuel into meaningful battlefield presence kind of more or less immediately, we're going to die. Oh no, he did lose another. Did he? No, he didn't. Okay. No, yeah, he lost a Ranger squad somewhere. Oh, I missed that. I don't know where that was happening, but a Ranger squad has died. Was that right here? I don't know. That's turbo unfortunate. Oh no, Bruce is in for the roughest game here. I mean, we've got 2 Shermans, so that's not the end of the world. Where's the other Sherman? Here it is. So we've got 2 Shermans, and we have a tiny but functional core infantry base against an OKW player who has had pretty much the best start in life you can get in a game, who's going to be completing the tech tree, announcing some intention perhaps to look towards a King Tiger later on, who's about to establish double fuel, who's up to 475 over 195. Kanji here in a beautiful position. The only thing that could possibly go wrong is that this Panzer IV gets double teamed by Shermans and gets taken out, but even that is not the end of the world here for Kanji. That would be a sustainable loss. So, okay, here comes the first Pershing. Actually gets up on top of the Rakettenwerfer, so that's already a slight win. Now the second Pershing can come in when this Panzer IV commits. Oh, come on, mouse. Okay, so now here's the problem. Now the Shermans can get around each side of the Panzer IV, so the Panzer IV, realizing its peril a bit too late, has to reverse out, but now it has... A rifleman here can break the engine, and this Pershing is in a really nice angle, and the Rakettenwerfer is long gone, actually destroyed. Wow, and we're seeing a Lef 18 being built. Wow, okay. So now the Panzer IV is utterly stricken, being pelted down by 2 Pershings, going to try to give it its best accord of itself, but it will be destroyed. No way you're going to get out of here alive, firing some insane luck on these hits from the Pershing, from the Sherman. There we go. Actually, that is just abandoned, so we need another hit there. Fausts can come down here to damage up this Pershing. Donk, donk, donk. Oh no, he actually is not going to destroy the Panzer IV. That's a bit of a worry. That is a concern. He kind of almost has to come forward and destroy that. Lef 18 is almost finished. Oh my god, these Volksgrenadiers are getting punished! This actually could be a squad wipe here. And the American player needs this. Yeah, nice. Okay, somehow Bruce, getting stuff done, loses another rifleman squad though in all that. Kettenwerfer gets recrewed here. Smoke comes down to try and help this Pershing get out. We can use some attack ground rounds. I think we should. Yep, that's a lovely attack ground round. Finds the Sherman. Oh my god. Ah! HE shells are pretty good. And the American player is going to get out of here with both tanks. Now that Panzer IV is actually technically still serviceable. If the Storm Pioneers can get over there and repair that bad boy, that would be sick. Lef 18 here has finished, and it's been a long time since I've seen a Lef 18 get used. It's going to start flumping some shells out. There's actually no units there. Alright. Where are the Storm Pioneers going? Oh, they're going out this way? This is surely a mistake. You need to repair the Panzer IV, man. Does he know that his Panzer IV did not actually explode in that fight? I actually feel like Kanji didn't actually see that this Panzer IV is still alive. Because you would definitely... I mean, 3-star Storm Pioneers will repair that very quickly. So, and I feel like you would definitely do that if you knew that it was alive. So, a slight oversight here, perhaps, from Kanji. 50 cal gets set up to cover these Rangers on the bridge. An exchange of grenades here is kind of going to favour the Rangers, actually. These Obersoldat are turbo low. They're going to have to fall back. Sherman's just going to be marauding around the countryside, policing Axis troops. And to be honest, with the 2 Shermans and no hard answer in the Axis roster, I actually feel like Bruce is in a position where they probably... Oh god, actually, I just saw the scoreline. Maybe not. I don't know, I feel like Bruce was so close to stabilizing here, but that scoreline is pretty unsustainable. He loses some Volksgrenadiers here, does Kanji. So, more crumbs from the table here for Bruce, who needs all the value that he can get. But under a double cap, bleeding out at 2 per tick, probably soon to be 3, and that is horrendous. Maybe soon to be 3. Where are the Storm Pioneers? Oh, it was the Storm Pioneers he lost? Oh, a bitter pill there for Kanji. Oh dear. Okay, and then the 50 cal gets gibbed here in mid. By the Pershing. HE shells taking no prisoners. Gonna hit some mines here probably. Donk. But, you know, kicking the Axis infantry out of the east of the map is nice. American forces are accessing the midline on the map. VPs are exchanging hands now. The Major here probably going to get gunned down. Obersoldaten really don't take prisoners. That is their job. They just kill infantry relentlessly. And yeah, Bruce here is going to be out of the game. Wow. That was an intense and bloody affair. Far from perfect play from both players, but Kanji just getting off to such a strong start that even though things got a bit scrappy there in the mid-game, it was still a conclusive affair. Bruce never really able to get back in there. Shut out of the game quite firmly in terms of victory points. And that will be that. Well, we're going to hop, since that was a short one, we're going to hop back out into the live game lobby here and see if we can find ourselves another fine game at a cast. And as it loads up, I probably will hop out and grab myself another drink of water because my water gets low. So we've got a couple of games here. What do we got down here? I think we're going to hop in and cast this one on Faymanville with a couple of players I've never seen before. Do bear with me, I'll just be 1 minute whilst I go and grab myself a drink of water. I'll be right back with you. Alrighty. So, spawning here in the south of Faymanville Approach, playing as the OKW pieces, it's going to be Insane Delirious. And spawning in the north here, playing as the Soviet forces, it'll be the Sloth. So let's see now. Slothy Boy going to be rolling with Guard Motor Coordination Tactics and a fine geezer with a pipe. Who is this? Anti-Infantry Tactics? Wow, I haven't seen this for a hot minute. Fear Propaganda Artillery. That was totes busted in like the first year or two of this game. Probably not anymore. An interesting commander there with some useful utility. And finally, we've got Soviet Shock Army there as well. Looks like Insane Delirious going to go ahead and pick the Luftwaffe Ground Forces Doctrine. And yeah, this is just a fantastic commander, useful through pretty much all stages of the game. And I think you have to say Faymanville is actually probably a really good map for Fallschirmjägers. There's just a ton of great positions for them to be occupying, loads of cover. This is just great terrain for Fallschirmjägers. This is the kind of stuff that they live for, so yep. Looking forward to seeing what the FG-42 equipped hard-hitting anti-infantry squad can achieve here. As this game starts to get underway here. Kugelwagen comes out and that's going to start harassing these conscripts. And looks like we've probably got ourselves another couple of minutes here where both players just gear up to a level where they can actually start taking meaningful fights. You know how it is at the start of RTSs. It does take just a second or two before things start getting super explosive, before the action really heats up. And so far so tactless here for the Sloth, so that is interesting. Volksgrenadier is going to be exchanging fire with conscripts here. They're going to be a little bit outnumbered here as these conscripts move in. Oh wow, and actually surrounded. Is this a special rifle commander? Oh no, sorry, for a second I thought they were penals. They are not. It's just all of the conscripts are here. Those Volksgrenadiers must fear, so they fall back. Kugelwagens are so cool. Sorry about that, I was just clearing my throat there for a second. So up to 4 squads of conscripts now. Where are the engineers? Just up here. Okay, cool. I imagine we'll see a tech choice fairly soon here for the Sloth. Storm Pioneers getting a good engage on some conscripts. Actually, they may be able to mow down some more conscripts here. Slothy boy, are we paying attention? Why are these conscripts just stopped in the open? Oh, yikes. That's going to enable these STG-equipped bruisers to close up on them, and that will be another squad of conscripts that will be falling back here. Excellent value being found by the Storm Pioneers. Insane Delirious finding some nice value out here on the map. These engineers have to fall back because there's Storm Pioneers on their fallback route. Oh god, this is going to hurt. Oh no, he doesn't hold position on the Storm Pioneers. Well, I mean, certainly before 2 stars of veterancy, Storm Pioneers do a lot more damage while standing still. So you probably could have gunned down another model or two with a little bit of a hold position there. Just, I don't know. Just a very small thing there. Schwervermacht Schlepper is out, and we'll soon learn if Insane Delirious wants to play this with the Mechanized or the Battle Gripper tech. And we're kind of getting to the stage now where I feel like we need to see a tech choice out of the Soviet player, because you're just kind of getting manhandled by Axis units on the field. At Tech 0, OKW has an almost infinitely more technical roster available to them, because, I mean, conscripts are so simple, and they kind of lose to any kind of sophistication or technicality. They basically lose to MGs, they kind of lose to Kubelwagens kiting them, they kind of lose to Storm Pioneers getting up on top of them. So yeah, we're at the stage in the game now where conscripts are going to start feeling a little bit inadequate here. Flamethrower does come down on the engineers, and that will be nice. Some conscripts here finding some mines, but conscripts are about the least valuable thing that you could lose out of the Soviet army, so that's actually fine. The engineers... Oh, actually, sorry, they are... Sorry, of course, they're out on the field right now, so they're actually going to replace these mines with some Soviet mines. Okay. And, I mean, we are at 5 minutes and still techless here for the Soviet player. So, I'm getting a little uneasy. I mean, these conscripts are still doing okay, I suppose, but we are just sort of losing most fights. I mean, if you crack the tack, we can see the Axis player has a little bit more connected resources here than the Soviet player. And a much easier time taking fights, for sure. It will be Mechanized Regiment tech. So probably a Panzer II on the queue here momentarily. And we need to see support armor core, because otherwise, yeah, Panzer II is on the queue, and we don't even have support armor... and we don't even have support weapon core building. That's problems. Oh, support weapon Kambanaya. Goodness me. And that is actually problems, because this Panzer II is just going to tear you up, man. And, I mean, the earliest possible Zis gun is going to be too late now. Do we have anti-vehicle grenades coming? Because they can buy you a bit of a reprieve. Oh no, we don't. Okay, now they come. That's fine. Oh, Christ. Oh no, he loses a conscript squad here, I think. Uh-oh. Okay, come on, Sloth. Come on, man. I'm losing faith a little bit here. Support weapon Campanile comes down. The anti-vehicle grenades will probably be enough to help out with it against this Panzer II, but this is still... I mean, as long as Insane Delirious remembers to micro the Panzer II and keeps it out of anti-vehicle grenade range, this Panzer II is going to be very profitable for a little while. And that's quite scary. I suppose the one thing that's been going the Sloth's way in this game is the scoreline. Opening up a little bit of a buffer here. Actually manages to tag the Kubelwagen with an anti-vehicle grenade. Can probably run that one down with the conscripts and just take that one out. Unless the Panzer II can... Nope. Not a chance. Not soon enough. Okay, so now the Panzer II gets scouted. So it basically has to be Zis gun first, I feel like, for the Sloth. And these conscripts are going to have quite a hard fallback in life. But there's plenty of health on that unit, so they should get out of here okay. The Panzer II can pursue. That autocannon furiously ripping away. Now these conscripts have to fall back. Fallschirmjäger starting to enter the field now. And I feel like this Soviet army is in desperate need of sophistication and technicality and some more hard-hitting units, because now we're dealing with Panzer II Fallschirmjäger and we still just have conscript engineer, and it's not cool. So the Zis gun's on the way. That's going to help. But the Ziskan itself is a fragile unit. Panzer II and Fallschirmjägers and the rest of this Axis stuff more than capable of bringing down the Ziskan. So the Sloth here is going to have to play quite a conservative position. And I'm a little worried. Uh-oh, these engineers are getting cut down. They have to fall back. Is he really insisting on taking this point? Whoa, fall them back. Oh no. Loses an engineer squad due to inattention there. The Sloth here. Perhaps a little too slow for this game. We'll see. And now this is just a fight where the conscripts are going to lose horribly. STGs and FG-42s will beat Moistened Nagants pretty much all of the time. MG34 getting mixed into the roster here for Insane Delirious, and to be honest, if that MG34 makes it anywhere near the Soviet player's base and gets set up in a good position with support, that is going to make life hell for the Sloth. The Sloth will have very difficult times accessing the map, and this is the problem, like the Ziskan is just getting ripped on by Fallschirmjägers, and it's such a fragile unit. Hopefully he can reinforce it from here. Yeah, he can. Alright. And this is the problem. See, your Ziskan will really only reach this far, and as soon as it steps out on the map, it's going to get absolutely shredded by very powerful anti-infantry DPS. And that's a real problem. So we kind of need the T-70 already, but we just don't have the manpower for the tech or the unit. So the Sloth here is going to go ahead and choose the Soviet Shock Army. And shock troops are going to be deployed to the field immediately. So that's going to help to some extent with these Fallschirmjägers and the Storm Pioneers and things, but I mean the MG34 will counter them, and they do feed veterancy because they are quite valuable units. So, okay, Sloth. Let's see what you can get done. FG-42 slaying these shock troops as they cross the open, but a fallback is forced. Alright, great. We've removed some of the Axis value from the map for the time being. A temporary reprieve here. If we can get the MG-34 out of here, that would be amazing, but this is the problem. Now the Panzer II, how do you deal with this? Because the Ziskan just is having a hard time accessing the map, really. It's so risky to move it out anywhere where it could get exploited by Axis infantry. If you lose this Ziskan, things look awful for the Soviet player. I have to admit, this has kind of not been a very good opener for the Sloth. I don't... It's okay to open techless, but I think you just stayed techless for like 60 or 90 seconds too long, and if you do that, you just... Conscripts are just not very good once your opponent has any amount of specialized units, be they MGs, elite infantry, even just Volks upgraded with Storm Pioneer support and Kubelwagens. Like, that will completely beat conscripts. So, oh god, STG is going to be shredding these engineers at close range. Stun grenade comes down, but it's not actually really finding very much value, to be honest. Panzer II could even think about just poking into the base, trying to find an angle that the Ziskan is not covering. Going to start working down the machine gun emplacement. This is the worst machine gun emplacement ever. Where is this actually covering? And, I mean, we can see the entire map has turned blue, so this actually might be a quick one. God, this looks so rough for the Soviet player. We still don't have Tank V Battalion Command. He's just been having to reinforce these units really hard. Okay, sorry, I didn't see the Maxim gun come out. Alright, so there is a Maxim gun. That actually helps a lot. Ziskan is going to use the artillery barrage to help counter the MG-34, which is actually not repositioning. Oh god, he might lose that now if the Maxim gun focuses it. He does actually lose the MG-34. Nice. Finally the Sloth actually drawing blood here. If he can nick that, that would be amazing. Volks Grenadiers are going to come out, but yeah, he forces them with conscripts. Go, grab. You need this MG-34. You need all the squads you can get right now. That is a free squad. Let's go. Why is the Ziskan not shooting this Panzer II? Alright, this is all kind of falling apart for Insane Delirious. Many squads getting caught into the arc. This Maxim has just turned things around so hard. He needs to get this MG34. The Storm Pioneers are going to come for it. That's so dangerous, because now there's going to be a very exploitable squad of Storm Pioneers here. The MG34 gets set up, though. It's getting shredded up. That's a lot of Moistened Gants. Okay, he actually gets the Axis hardware out of there. Okay, so in a way it's a little bit suboptimal to have to use your Storm Pioneers to recrew an MG, because now this MG actually costs more unit supply because it has Storm Pioneers manning it. I mean, on the flip side, if any enemy infantry approaching that MG will get pelted by STG wielding Storm Pioneers, but you don't that's not normally the way you want to do things. But the bottom line is he got the MG34 out of there. If this Soviet player suddenly has 2 MGs and you and this MG is not on the Axis roster, things start looking a lot more fair in this game. Another Zisk gun going to be coming out, and that's fine. Still no Tankovy. Alright, well, the contain is broken. Soviet units are able, for the first time in a while, to move out and access the map. But they're already meeting resistance. The Sloth is down at 274, under 415, so it does need to get out now as we move up to the 15-minute mark in this game. This Maxim has been an absolute gem. Has really been holding the Soviet defense together. Maxims are just very good, aren't they? But Storm Pioneers here are going to get around the side of the Maxim and get up on top of the Zisk gun. And oh god, he's just not responding to these Storm Pioneers. That's a stack of damage that will be dealt. Oh no, conscripts turbo low. FG-42s plying their deadly trade. MG-34 has these conscripts suppressed. And I think the Sloth is going to be repulsed from the map here. He has thrown down Tankovy. No, he hasn't. Sorry, I thought Tankovy Battalion was there. Oishk. This looks so rough for the Soviet player. Engineers are out here in West. They are going to decap a VP, so that's heroic work. Schwerpanzer HQ is finished. Actually, we've got loads of fuel. Oh, of course we have. Yeah, the Axis player has been holding the map. Pardon me. So this could actually be a fast Panther. If he wanted one. Panzer IV is actually just the better choice, isn't it? Okay, Sloth. Impress me. You need to do a thing. Yeah. Okay, 2 squads of Fallschirmjägers, both with FG-42 upgrades. Yeesh. This is looking scary. Come on, Sloth. You gotta show some signs of life in this game, man. Oh no, this gun will be forfeit. He needs to be running that away immediately if that gets scouted. It does, it gets scouted. Uh-oh. Maxim gun gonna be saving the day here. Shock troops gonna flush these Volks out. Zisk gun taking a barrage here. But those Fallschirmjägers are long gone. Oh wow, Soviet forces actually able to get into the central building. Wow, that's nice. If he could get his Maxim in there, that would be really sweet. There are shoe mines here as well, so it has to look out for those. Still no Tankovy Battalion. Dude, you don't get to take this fuel with you into the next game. You must tech, sir. You don't even have to build a unit out of the Tankovy Battalion Command. In fact, I would probably say that's a bad idea. But you will need that Tankovy Battalion Command if you want to build your mechanized armor Campanier. And I would recommend that. Tech is strong in RTS games. Oh, this is looking so rough. The Stuka smoke pots are going to come down to block the Maxim. Zisk gun's frantically pivoting to try and find the Panzer II, but it's kind of running rings around them right now. Soviet forces managed to get off the clock, though, and that's probably the most important single thing to be getting done. Actually, fuel and munitions are also connected, so I don't know, signs of life here for the Sloth? You need some tech though, bro. Where are the engineers? Okay, they're falling back. They need to build a tech building.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Oh no, these conscripts are lost. And they need to fall back yesterday. Oh god. We can't be feeding them conscripts. This is just inattention. The sloth. Oh no, he loses the... Erg. Loses those conscripts there.
Made the ultimate sacrifice.
Shock troops. They will get out of that. Tank of Battalion Command on the way at last. But this game keeps on looking pretty grim for the sloth. I mean, again, if he had the manpower, 120mm mortar tube here would have been fine. Or just a regular mortar tube, to be honest. Because when you're on this badly on the back foot, especially on a small map, a mortar tube can just help stifle your opponent and make them pay for trying to occupy your side of the map. But there's just never really been the manpower. The sloth has constantly been having to reinforce these units and hasn't even really had the manpower spare for teching, apparently. So, yeah, getting a mortar tube seems like an ask too far. One ask too many. Maxim here hooning into some Fallschirmjägers. Or is it the Fallschirmjägers who are hooning into the Maxim? Yeah, it really is. Fallschirmjägers are quite good. Alright, so Tank of Battalion Command finishes. I don't feel like a T-70 is going to be good enough. If he builds a T-70, I think this game is basically over. Yeah, because like the 19-minute T-70 onto the queue never feels good. So I don't think that can work. We'll see. Shock troops kind of messing with the fallback on these Fallschirms. That is nice. Big blob of Soviet units here. Where's the MG-34? Oh, it's in the central building. Okay. Has he lost another squad? He's lost, like, another squad of conscripts or something, right? No, he lost the engineers, right. Well, that's pretty rough. Can't really afford to replace those. Oh god, he lost the engineers before he built the mechanized Campanile. Okay, that's basically game, isn't it? Because by the time we get mechanized Campanile, he's going to be, like, out of time in this game. Mines on the fullback here, decimating shock troops, and this has been a story of domination, insane delirious. Putting on a showcase of Luftwaffe ground forces doctrine tactics here. It's a T-70. That classic 2.5 minute T-70. Sorry, 20.5 minute T-70. 2.5 minute T-70 is quite strong, to be honest. Well, I believe that that will be that.
We are losing supplies to the enemy. We must protect our HQ.
I think that's over. I think that's pretty conclusively done. Look at all these Soviet units just like, we can't find any value on the map. Yikes. Here comes a T-70. Is this one going to turn the game around? Time will tell. Anything can happen. Company of Heroes 2 is a hell of a game. This T-70 might go on to be 6 stars a veteran with 400 kills. It could happen. Wow, he's just driving out into fog of war with no metal detectors, and there are shoe mines about the place. The classic T-70 versus KT matchup. Historians pretty much divided on which was the superior tank, on which would win in a heads-up fight. But let's see how well Company of Heroes models the matchup between these two armored units as the King Tiger begins to track on that T-70. Rolls a miss there. Are we just going to concede? No. I mean, if he can get a third Ziskan, there's a world in which he doesn't lose this game. Only 64 VPs remaining. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh no, this is rough. Well, I mean, yeah, this was a pretty one-sided affair. I feel like I can switch to forensic casting mode. You know, it's been a super rough game when you are just getting your T-70 when your opponent is just getting their King Tiger. That's a rough affair. Panzer II taking a lot of hits from Zis guns here, but I think it will sneak away using the rapid move speed of the road. Squad of conscripts going to go down there. Pretty much all academic at this point. King Tiger just marauding around the countryside, doing King Tiger stuff. But nobody particularly cares. This game will be decided on victory points here momentarily. And that will be that. T-70 coming in for a heroic dive here. Yeah, actually kind of losing to the MG34 with incendiary ammo. It's a bit tough. Yeah, so the triple cap has established no Soviet infantry within a stone's throw of any of the victory points. So, yeah. Well, I mean, once again, the standard Magpie disclaimer applies. When casting from the live game lobby, you are never guaranteed a close game. Sometimes you do get these one-sided stomp fests, although no, usually they're not this one-sided. This was a pretty unfortunate game to have hopped into, and I'm sorry, the sloth. Sometimes this happens. The game where you get utterly curb stomped just happens to be the game that some dude is casting and uploading onto YouTube. Sorry about that. But it do be like that sometimes. Wow. Yeah, not much to say about this game, really. You know, Soviet players, you should build your tech in a timely manner, and otherwise you're just like completely out of sync with what's happening in the game. I think that's really all that can be said here. I appreciate that he had to be reinforcing squads and didn't really have the manpower to tech, but the thing is, if you don't tech, then you just can't play the game, so you actually have to delay reinforcing your squads to throw down the tech and then reinforce your squads afterwards, so it's like, yep, that's what you have to do. So, youch. Yeah, nothing too much to say in this one. Insane Delirious looking like a pretty smooth operator, but I mean, when you get off to this good of a start, it is not hard to look like a genius, especially when the game was characterized by the T-70 coming out at the same time as the KT. That probably tells you all you need to know. Wow! Okay, cool. Well, there we go. Not the best couple of games to have caught on the ladder today, but that's the thing about casting live. You just never know what you're going to get. For me, that's pretty exciting, and that's why I like to do it. So, yeah, I guess in closing, I would just say once again, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a sort of a day-long stream, essentially. We're going to be building the stream pretty much live. I'll start streaming in the morning, so between like 9:30 and 11 GMT, we'll just put the stream up. There's no obligation to be there early. We have no scheduled programming for you. There's going to be no particular tournament or schedule of things that I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be playing some games, having some fun with friends as and when they pop up online. We'll be taking the Brit squad out onto Call of Duty and taking some names, shooting some dudes, having some fun. But before that, I'm going to be just building the stream, kind of watching some videos, learning about how to get a decent streaming setup going, configuring OBS, getting my notifications and everything in order. And yeah, you're all welcome, you're all invited. If that sounds totally boring, then the great thing is you don't have to come. But if you would like to have your input and help me out as I throw all this stuff together, then I would love that. I would really appreciate that. So yeah, twitch.tv/magpie842 will be the place to find all of this stuff as it happens in real time. And I look forward to seeing any of you who fancy joining me there. That's going to be, it would be awesome. It would just be awesome if you wanted to join me. So yeah, that brings this video to a conclusion. Thank you very much for watching. And this for now, Magpie842 signing out.